An American hostage killed by a U.S. strike against al-Qaeda reignites the debate over the use of drones. According to Politico, President Obama wanted to transfer control of drones to the Defense Department, but Dianne Feinstein, the former head of the Senate Intelligence Committee, raised concerns. Officials at Valdosta State University canceled classes today to prepare for a large demonstration by flag supporters. This after this controversial video surfaced on the internet. It shows an Air Force veteran trying to stop people from stomping on the American flag. Police then detained that veteran, and now the community is rallying behind her. Bruce Jenner, the former Olympic medalist and reality TV star, is set to make transgender history. It's all coming up during an interview with ABC News. Sources say the 65-year-old will officially talk about his transformation of life to life as a woman. And take a look at this. A shopkeeper in England fights off a knife-wielding robber. The clerk tried to hold the man down, but the assailant got away.
And welcome back to Newsmax Now. Italian police arresting 18 alleged terror suspects, including 2 former guards that worked with Osama bin Laden. The extremist groups also had ties to a coup attempt back in Pakistan a few years ago and a bombing there that killed 100 people. The Vatican may have also been targeted, and joining us now to discuss this in more detail is Dr. Robert Rabeel. Dr. Rabeel, it's always great to have you with us.
It's my pleasure, John. Thank you for having me. Miranda, thank you for having me.
So we're hearing about these suspects who were arrested in Italy, 2 of them working very closely as bodyguards, supposedly with Osama bin Laden. When you hear about this type of arrest, is this a sign that the global community is doing a better job of finding these guys, or perhaps a more concerning sign that just how deep and how widespread these terrorists are?
As a matter of fact, it's the 2 things put together. On the one hand, you are right when you say now you have more intelligence cooperation among and between all European nations, especially the EU, and Italy is one of them. And second, as we have discussed on more than one occasion here, you have a growth of Salafism and Islamism in Europe. And it's not only limited to Italy. In Italy, in Netherlands, in Germany, in France, in Great Britain. And more so, let me add this. Yes, and this growth is about more people trying to go in, directly sent through directive by ISIS or Al-Qaeda, but also through missionary movement. Missionary movement, these are Islamist movement. Mainly their objective is to undermine the Muslims' fealty to their countries. For example, in this sense, the Italian, if you are an Italian Muslim, they tell you, listen, your loyalty is to what? To the Muslim Ummah. And this is what has been working on, and they have been really at work there.
What do you think is fueling the spread of radical Islam?
Well, you have grievances, and those grievances, you add it to some kind of an alienation. You have a Muslim community in Europe that is not very well integrated into the system, and they feel that they are discriminated against, and they feel they are alienated. And this has been exploited by a radical organization, by Salafi Imami who are radical, and as I mentioned, by organization who they don't espouse violence, but they espouse some kind of a version of Islam that will tell them, you belong to us, and we are going to empower you. And this is what's fueling this growth throughout Europe. And this is why Europe now is really in a double bind with the immigrants. They are dying in the sea. Really, they are in a difficult position, whether to accept them to go in to save them or saying, listen, we are going to save you, but please don't come to us, to our shores.
They don't really seem to be dealing with that problem very well either in Europe. But we also want to talk about the conflicts that the U.S. is involved in. There was an article in Politico today saying that President Obama's stated goal when he became president was to end our conflicts in Afghanistan and Iraq, but we are now involved in more or less 5 different wars around the globe right now. Is that an accurate assessment?
As a matter of fact, yes. And why is that? The emergence of ISIS, there is something we have to take a look at, whether in Afghanistan, Pakistan, or whether in the Levant, or mainly the Middle East. You have no regional orders. The regional orders have been destroyed, and now you are working into a vacuum. And into that vacuum, what you have? You have ISIS in the Levant, and what you have? You have now Taliban and Taliban in Pakistan. So really, this is what we are dealing with. So true, we are withdrawing our forces, but the sad reality is that the Sunni world is facing crisis, and somehow we are getting sucked into the Middle East and what I would call the greater Middle East.
I heard one prediction that said we could be looking at decades of this type of conflict, not just the drone strike like we heard about and the one that failed, but special forces spread out throughout the country and airstrikes, whether they're drones or not.
Correct.
Decades?
Oh, I agree with that. Mainly, I look
Decades?
at it and I see you have a serious crisis, and it's going to take from 1 to 2 generations to be
1 to 2
resolved.
generations.
So we'll have to have you back to talk more about this.
Thank
Dr.
you.
Rabil,
Thank
thanks
you.
so much
It's
for
a pleasure.
joining us on Newsmax
It's a pleasure
Now.
to have me here.
All right,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Rabil.
When we come back, does the president have a drone problem? Our roundtable debates the issue that has everyone talking. And later, John Kerry has one important fan in his corner. We'll show you who it is.
Next hour, did the president take some air out of the Patriots' visit to the White House? And the jokes, did they fail? We'll talk about it coming up.